I am originally from New York, Long Island, New York, and I've been living abroad kind of on and off and relocating now for a little over 6 years. And so it's been a while. I really moved abroad for the first time after graduating from university. And since then, it's kind of been, I don't want to say an addiction, but it's kind of like once you do it once, you get the ball rolling and it's hard to stop, you know? Um, and so I've lived on three different continents up until this point, relocated. I think just this recent move was my sixth or seventh. I've lost count now. And so, yeah, my expat experience has really made me who I am today. And it wasn't always easy at first. My first year living abroad, I moved to Spain when I was only 21. And it was a really hard year. That first year was really hard. And, even though I was so excited about the experience and I was really um, eager to move abroad and to start a life in a new country, I hadn't really slowed down to figure out the why, I like to call it, or the purpose behind the move and what I was looking to get out of the experience, why it was that I was moving to Spain
Right.
after school instead of, taking the more traditional path that had kind of been laid before me. And so that first year, I kind of just felt like I was floating around a little bit. I really didn't know what to focus my time or energy on. And it was a bit of a mess that first year.
Yeah.
And so I had the opportunity to actually move home. And after my first year was over, I was very stuck between giving it another shot or kind of, just calling it a loss and moving home. And I decided to give it another shot because I knew that there was more out there to be experienced, and I knew that I didn't want to leave on a bad note. And so my second year, I really changed things around. I went in with a plan. I really developed a lot of the techniques and tools and, methods that I use with my clients today. And it was a totally different experience. And what I found is that it really boils down to two things, which are your why or your purpose and being really clear on that and knowing what it is that you're looking for out of the experience. Because if you don't know that, then it's really hard to achieve that. And
Yes.
then also restoring balance. And so with any big change or big move, our balance gets really thrown off. And so I find that it's really important to identify the specific parts of your life that have been thrown off balance when you make a move and then working to restore those so that, you don't have all these great things happening in one area of your life, but are neglecting something else. And so a lot of the time that will add to the stress or the anxiety or the pent up feelings of moving abroad. And so, yeah, that's basically why I decided to pursue coaching and to work with mostly other women who are looking to have these international experiences because again, it really made me who I am today. And it has just been such an incredible eye-opening and learning and, personal development, personal growth, self-awareness experience all wrapped up into one. And so I'm a huge advocate for other women, doing the same and helping them have the best experience possible.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, especially about the why and the balance, because if you don't have that, it's hard to enjoy in that area that you're growing a lot, right? If other areas are lacking behind. So tell us a little bit about how you found your why. What were some of the strategies that you used looking back now? Because
Yeah,
sometimes in the process, it's kind of hard to develop that, hard to
yeah,
know, but
absolutely.
when you reflect back, it's much easier to establish what were the right steps that you took.
Yeah. Yeah, and so it's funny because my why or my purpose really has evolved with time and that's okay too. I see that a lot with my clients as well where, they're working towards one thing, but then in the process of working towards that thing, they realize that it's not that they wanted after all and change paths. But it's all part of the experience and part of the journey of really figuring out the next steps. And so what I like to say, and actually my mentor coach taught me, is that your only job is to know the first step right in front of you, and the rest will fall into place. And so it's nice to have these bigger goals and these bigger purposes that we're working towards. But if we get too caught up in the bigger picture, it's harder to arrive to that point because we're not focusing on the next step and the next thing that has to happen. And so for me in the beginning, it was a lot of, I just had to really take a pause and think and give myself the time to look inward. And I think I had gotten really caught up in looking for my why and looking for my answers outside of myself and kind of turning to these external factors and what other people were telling me this experience was supposed to be, influences from other bloggers or influencers. And I was getting so caught up in everyone else's why that I really was ignoring my own. And so that's why that first year, I think, was a little bit all over the place because I really didn't take the time to think about what I wanted out of the experience. And
Right.
so it just, yeah, it took a lot of reflection, a lot of inward, I guess, introspection of myself and, just really journaling. I would go for really long walks or runs and kind of just see where my mind took me, meditating. And yeah, a lot of these tools that I now go through with my clients. And of
Mhm.
course, I wasn't working with a coach at the time. But I think that if I would have started working with a coach sooner, I would have come to these conclusions a lot faster as well.
Yeah.
And because that's exactly what coaches do, is they kind of help you like weed out all of the BS and all of the external voices and really dig down to what it is that you're looking for. And so it took me a while to figure it out, and that's why I now want to help other people with that, because I realized that it doesn't have to be such a drawn out long
Sure.
process. And if you really know what it is that you're looking for and have someone else as this kind of external, unbiased party that's kind of guiding you along that journey, um, you can get to your why a lot faster. And then when you have that picture in mind, you can make more intentional decisions that are aligned with that purpose, and everything just kind of falls into place after that. And so, yeah, I guess that's kind of a long-winded version of how I found my why.
I think you made a lot of great points, but to me, especially two of them really stand out. One is it's okay to take a step back and slow down, right? Because I think nowadays everyone is so rushed into what is next? What do I do next? I have to do something. I have to do something. And it's kind of coming from all places that sometimes you intentionally have to think and you have to know that it is okay to slow down. It is okay to
Yeah.
stop for minutes, right? And just the testament of you being now a coach shows the importance of getting that outside opinion, right? Like
Mm.
you said, kind of moving things faster along and helping you sort things out in the process,
Mm.
right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'm still pretty new to the world of coaching in general. I mean, considering, my almost 30 years on this planet, and it's, been fairly a recent discovery. And I just wish that I had known about it sooner, because I really do think that once I did start working with coaches, everything just became so much clearer. And that's why I decided that I wanted to pursue that as well, because I saw the changes in myself and realized that this was something that was really lacking in the expat world, and that moving abroad and living in a new place comes with a whole new set of challenges and complications. And it can really just help to have someone to talk to that's also been through it, that can help you with a clear mind go through the process. And so, yeah, it's just it really has provided a lot of clarity for me. And so that's now my, mission is to help provide that clarity for others.